one day, so this is the solution. Oh, I didn't plug this.
You're listening with audio. You're on Instagram.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Swiping on things.
This time. One of them's Titanic, one of them's like a Mob of the Dead remaster, and the other one's like a Melee only Gauntlet
I
thing.
will genocide hike one back up.
Is this the heart attack heartburn all over again?
Oh my hot dog.
At least this one will have recorded on a high quality camera.
Is it recording right now?
Oh yeah. Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Death Mountain Podcast, the podcast that still isn't actually a podcast, it's a video show. And here with me today, someone you've never seen on the Not Podcast before. This is Addison. And Addison, fun fact, is actually the original founder of the podcast.
This isn't a podcast.
It's not a podcast.
This is a podcast.
It's not a podcast. This is a web show. He actually initially came up with the idea for us to do a podcast, an actual podcast, and then it turned into this that we still call a podcast, even though it's not a podcast.
I got banished from ever being a part of it until now.
And now he's here. We've got lots of exciting news for you today. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, it's basically PUBG. 1 + 6 = 7, and Fortnite has jetpacks. So we're going to just jump straight into it. Black Ops 4 has been announced. Back to the Treyarch cycle of the Call of Duty games. Personally, Black Ops 3 was... I know it's not your favorite, but it was one
Black
of...
Ops 3?
Yeah,
No.
it was one of my favorites, especially out of the Black Ops arc. I thought the specialists added a nice new flair to the game. Big thing with this is they've finally dropped the campaign.
We knew they were going to be doing it for a while. I feel like after Black Ops 2,
Yeah.
it kind of fell off. I feel like people didn't play Black Ops 2's story.
The only way I know the campaign of Black Ops 3 is from the old house when Roy played it in the basement for like
Really?
2 weeks straight.
What?
I never actually played it.
I didn't know you played it.
Yeah, that was when he was unemployed and you lived in Idaho.
Rip that.
So in
Podcast for another day.
in lieu of campaign, we actually have a new mode called Blackout, which is PUBG. That's basically what it is. It's Battle Royale mode. They're bringing back characters from older Call of Duty games, so some of the OG faces you remember from previous campaigns. So they're bringing those characters back. You get to play as those characters, and it's basically a Battle Royale with vehicles, helicopters.
Are they trying to compete with PUBG, or are they trying to, like, supplement it? Like, are they trying to take PUBG's fan base, or are they trying to, like,
I think it's...
treat their fan base to that battle mode? Because I'm assuming... Oh, I've been out of the Call of Duty scene for a while, but I know back in the day...
Back in the day.
Back in my day, during the MW3 days, I would not have been on a battle or a Fortnite type game if I was playing Call of Duty.
That's a tough sell because I think it's, well, one, PUBG is basically irrelevant now because Fortnite's the only game worth playing because it's our favorite game here at DMP.
I would like to withdraw my contribution to that. It's not my favorite game.
He'll come around. Yeah, so it's I think it's a tough sell. I don't think you can say they're trying to take any market share away from that. One, because we'll compare it to Fortnite. Fortnite is free to do the Battle Royale part of it.
Mhm.
So it'd be, it's hard to charge $60-$70 for a game that really isn't centered around the Battle Royale mode. Most of the time when you buy a Call of Duty game, it's for the multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
And so, of
I
course...
mean, it's an experience.
Oh yeah, and with Battle Royale, that's only going to increase. So I think it's more what you were saying, more of a supplement to their existing lineup.
Yeah.
Especially with the new zombie stuff that they're introducing, which we'll get to in a sec.
Well, they were wild with the game modes in, what was the last one? The last game that they came out with? Not Black Ops.
World War II?
Oh, sorry. I forgot World War II was a thing. For that.
Uh,
Advanced Warfare.
No, Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare. All of them. Anything past Modern Warfare 3 was just...
Got to keep track of all.
Oh boy, we should have like
89
one of
Call
those
of
like
Duty games.
red yarn things with
Yeah.
all the different ones. No, but they released game modes all the time. They had the one that was like football, which is in World War II now, I think. and then they released the one.
They just dropped Prop Hunt for World War II.
And Prop Hunt was in Modern Warfare Remastered.
Mm-hmm.
Great game. But then they also, I mean, you could see them start to do it in Modern Warfare 3 and kind of in 2, but in 3 they had like Drop Zone, the Juggernaut one, Gun Game, Infected. Like they kind of went out and they like released their traditional ones like War and all that and Team Deathmatch and Free For All, but then they had like all these party playlists, and so I'm not surprised that they're going for the Battle Royale.
And of course, what Black Ops is arguably most notably known for, zombies. So we've got 3 confirmed zombie maps right now. One of them is the Titanic, which you were watching the video.
I'm down for that. That looks
and you were like,
fun.
"Is that the Titanic?" I was like,
I've always loved zombies, all of them. I didn't play any of Call of Duty Black Ops 3s. I played literally like 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But Black Ops 1, great. And was it World at War that had?
Yeah, World at War was the first one.
World at War obviously was before I started playing Call of Duty, but I got it when I started playing Call of Duty. I bought it and kind of played some. And it was obviously the original, so it was great. Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 zombies were awesome. Black Ops 1 had just all the fun stuff, whether it was, I can't remember what the name was, but like the one that took place on the ship and all the maps, and they all were just so well designed, I felt like, that I feel like if they stay true to their zombie roots, that the Titanic one's going to be really interesting. I mean, I feel like there's a lot you could do with a map that takes place on a boat. Like, that's got to be pretty sweet.
And then a Roman gladiator arena called the Nine, if I recall correctly. That's bound to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because an arena, like typically Call of Duty maps, you have a lot, or not a lot, but you have room to move around in different ways you can navigate the map.
Yeah.
So with a Roman gladiator arena, I'm curious how like traditional they're going to keep it, if it's going to be like
open and
circle ring.
Circular, yeah.
Because if it is, that's definitely going to be a bit of a new zombies experience.
Well, and Call of Duty maps have always been, zombie ones not necessarily. Call of Duty maps on multiplayer have always been one of those ones where if you break it down to just boxes and squares, or same thing, boxes and lines, like lines of pathways, boxes or objects, they're always very symmetrical on both sides, even though the decorating looks different. But zombie maps are always just, it seems like, intricate and kind of confusing because it helps with the whole disorienting you sometimes if you're in like a hurry that you might get stuck somewhere that you're not used to. Like, what was it called? Die Rise, that one.
Yeah.
That was the most confusing. I played it for like a year, 2 years, and I still didn't know how to get around the map when I was done with it. Like, there were still parts I'd find and be like, I don't know how to get to here from here. So, it will be weird because people are so used to that typical confusing area and you have to build a train and not get stuck in a corner, that if it's a big circle, it could benefit you in the sense of there's not really anywhere to get lost, but it also might screw you over when the zombies come at you from 360 degrees, literally. So,
yeah, because at that point you're surrounded. You can't just train them out
and leave. Yeah, you're stuck in one area.
So definitely be interesting. And then they're also remaking Blood of the Dead, which is awesome. They're doing that with the original characters, the original cast. They're bringing that back.
That's another big
in
thing with
HD
zombies.
goodness.
Oof. COD and HD goodness in the same sentence.
And then the last big change they've hinted at is actually in their multiplayer modes. Their multiplayer modes are going to be a little more based towards the specialist classes that were introduced in Black Ops 3, kind of to the point now where when you hop into a game match, you're going to want to be picking your specialist class based on what your teammates have picked. So kind of almost similar to like in a MOBA game where you have different positions per lane. So basically you have to construct your team composition based on what other specialists are already in the game.
I'm still on the fence with this one because the thing I see is everyone knows, well, we're going to stick with Xbox because that's my console of choice when I use these descriptions. I'm going to use Xbox. Xbox Live has never been known as like a good community.
Accurate.
Like they've never been the community that you can rely on help from. They're the community you can rely on that they'll insult you every 3.5 seconds and scream into their mic.
Yep.
Until you're no longer
and
able
play
to hear what's
mariachi
happening.
music randomly.
Mariachi music, yep, insults. Yeah. So it's one of those things where when you put in, if you're on a team, if you're playing with a party, I used to play with a party of 6 people. Well, 5 people plus me is perfect. You're in Call of Duty, you have your own team. We all work together. when you get thrown into a game where you might have a 10-year-old who just bought the game, a 30-year-old who's a single dad who's just killing time, and then people like us, the chances you're going to be able to coordinate that kind of stuff are going to be tough. And I wonder if there's going to be some sort of fail-safe to make sure that it doesn't make it so that you just like pretty much have no chance at winning if your team's like all doing one thing. Like, how would they balance it if everyone's like running? For example, if we go from the battlefield sensors like medic, engineer, sniper, if everyone's running sniper, how are they going to make it?
That's what I was about to say. Like, if I could guess on what's going to happen, it's that at launch, there's going to be one specialist class or two specialist classes who are just completely overpowered, and you're just going to walk into a lobby full of that and just get wrecked.
So it's going to be one-man army and noob tubes again.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be.
So, confirmed Black Ops 4 is Modern Warfare 2 remaster.
Yep. Beautiful.
Oh, God.
They actually need to make that.
I'm excited.
That'd be
I heard
beautiful.
they said they are.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
said that.
That's true.
I'll have kids by the time it probably happens, but
All right. So, next topic. 1 plus 6
oh,
does
boy.
equal 7. That's what happens if you Google that to try to get information
1
on the
minus
phone.
6 though. -5.
Okay. Okay.
Math, folks.
Math, it's hard. But we still do it here at DMP for some reason. I don't know why. So the phone's got an all glass back. I'm sorry, it's not all glass back. It's an all glass phone. Which
Are the buttons glass? Are there buttons?
there are buttons. It does have buttons. And it has a headphone jack. Both of us are Apple fanboys, so that's kind of a hard sell.
Yeah. Well,
Us talking about an Android phone on the podcast is a hard sell. So we apologize for this segment because we really don't care about this.
Oh boy, you might as well just have us talk about I don't know.
Something else we don't care about. Any game other than Fortnite.
Yep, basically. Okay, what's your opinion on glass phones? We're both rocking the 7 with the solid aluminum back in the. We both have cases, so it
We
doesn't
both have
help.
cases, yeah.
But the aluminum backs with the glass front. I personally was happy when they moved away from glass. From like the iPhone was the 4 that
iPhone
used
4,
to be all
yeah,
glass.
the 4 and the 4S.
And the 5 had the glass with the aluminum.
Yep.
But the glass never broke on those. I don't think. I've never seen a 5 with a broken upper or lower bar.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, those were glass, the upper and
Yeah,
lower bar. I forgot
upper
about
and lower
that.
bar glass, and then that was
Because they didn't go to full aluminum till the 6.
Yeah,
That's right.
and that was when the first antenna started weaving through the outsides.
Yep.
Was in the 5,
Mm-hmm.
and it lined like where the glass started.
See, I had actually, to this day, there's no wood to knock on it here. This is probably laminate. Close enough. I've never, ever, ever broken an iPhone screen or any
I wish I
glass
could
part of the
say
phone.
that.
Oh yeah, rip your Apple Watch last week.
Or my old phone before this one that's sitting.
Oh
on my
yeah,
drawer.
that's true.
Yep.
That's true. That one was real bad, but that also went like face down in gravel after it broke.
No, that went face down in snow.
Oh.
Powdered snow.
No, after it broke.
Oh,
you like
yeah.
dropped it out of the truck and it just went face down in gravel after it was already broken,
That's
and then it
true.
was really broken.
Yep.
I've never personally been a fan of them. I used to work for a cell phone company and sold many phones. I remember when Samsung switched back to using glass back phones,
Mhm.
or switched to using glass back phones. They came in broken all the time. Remarkably, the most broken thing I ever saw on a Samsung Galaxy S6 or S7 was the camera bump. The actual camera glass itself would shatter.
I thought that was going to be a bigger issue with these cameras,
Uh-huh.
but I've never noticed it. Although,
Yeah.
aren't they sapphire?
Yeah, ours are sapphire. These are sapphire, and then the Touch ID button is sapphire.
Okay, so
So,
a little bit of forethinking.
well, but no, sapphire, because these are Gorilla Glass 5. That might be incorrect. They're Gorilla Glass 5 screens. We're going to say that for the sake of argument. And sapphire actually has a lower, not durability, hardness. It has a lower hardness than
Yeah.
Gorilla Glass 5. So sapphire actually breaks easier than our screens do. Which is why they don't just do the whole screen in that. They actually only do small portions like the camera and the Touch ID button.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's interesting.
Mhm.
I like this build. This build was my favorite that Apple ever did. With
Yeah.
the aluminum back, the glass.
I love how this
front.
started out as a 1+6 and we're just talking about iPhones now.
Yeah, well, I mean, but
It's an
it'll
Android
tie
phone.
back in. When you have
Yeah.
a build like this, I feel like they go sub out. I mean, the iPhone's back on all glass.
Yeah.
And like I held my dad's iPhone X and it was terrifying because it's all glass and it just I don't know.
Fingerprints.
And like
Still a problem with aluminum, but not nearly as bad.
no, and I feel like I can use my phone without a case
Mm-hmm.
for a couple days and be okay, but I could barely hold his phone for 2 seconds on a couch without a case
Mm-hmm.
because it just felt like it was going to just break in my hand.
Yeah.
So with the OnePlus 6 tying this all back in, I feel like going to all glass is a really bold move because they're following suit with Apple and going back to glass, and the whatever new Samsung is, the newest Samsung, that's all glass. Is it? Or is that plastic?
S9. It's glass.
It's glass, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all going back to glass, but I have a feeling that the next generation of phones will go back to something else.
See, but the reason most have gone to glass is for wireless charging,
That's true.
because you can't do wireless charging through like aluminum, which is why our phones and the 8s don't have wireless charging.
If Apple follows suit with the Magic Mouse and the way you charged it, soon you'll just charge your phone face down. Wireless charge it face down to the screen.
That's actually probably not a terrible idea.
I mean, it's like the Magic Mouse charges upside down,
Yeah.
or you can't use it.
That's fair. Other than that, it's a typical Android phone, I guess.
Does it run pure Android?
It does, yeah. So it does run stock Android.
Okay.
It's got a Quad HD IPS display, 16 megapixel portrait camera, 24 megapixel regular camera. So it's the regular dual camera setup. Does still have a headphone jack. So if you really are attached to your headphone jack still for some reason, even though this is 2018, you have an iPhone. Shut your mouth.
No, but I still wish I had a headphone jack sometimes.
You have Bluetooth headphones. I've had like 2 situations
You know how hard it is to get into
in the
a-
past year where I've needed a headphone jack. I do have those dongles everywhere though, so that's not
Yeah,
entirely
I
fair.
lost my dongle. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
dongleless.
Okay. And for our last bit of tech news today, Fortnite has jetpacks now. So stop watching the podcast and go play Fortnite, because why did you even stop playing Fortnite in the first place? Come on. Anyways, that's really all we have for this week, guys. Joey's out sick. Trevor's super tired. Addison had never hosted an episode of the podcast before, so he's subbing in.
I'm here.
And there just wasn't really a whole lot of tech news to talk about. Next week, though, is going to be awesome. Next week, we'll have the whole Battlefield 5 Battlefield 5 reveal. Math is hard. I'm still going on that. So that's going to be a really
Any
sweet
predictions
episode.
for 5?
Well, we kind of know it's going to be World War II. We have like that 7-second teaser video that just looks like a dude getting stabbed. I do want to make a quick comment about Battlefield. So Battlefield, previous one, which is Battlefield 1, went back to World War II. So now, from Battlefield 1, we are going from Battlefield 1 to Battlefield 5, which is also World War II.
Was prior to 1.4.
Yes.
So it went boom, boom, boom.
Yes. I really wish they would make...
Is Apple and Battlefield in the same company? Because their numbering's about the same.
Right? I don't...
Battlefield X.
I'm going to date myself a little bit here,
Oh
but
boy.
I really wish
Get
Battlefield
your encyclopedias out.
would do an HD remake of Battlefield 2142. I loved that game. That was like the second Battlefield game that ever came out after the original
My
one.
first Battlefield experience was Battlefield Bad Company. That was my first one, which I feel like was a terrible first one to experience. And I strictly remember getting sniped every 2.5 seconds every time I responded. So
That's
I
fair.
have like a disposition to not like Battlefield.
That's fair.
One was okay. Yet again, also only played it like for 12 seconds total probably. But
Yeah. All right. That does it for this week, guys. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you dislike it, you can hit that button too,
if
I
you
guess.
dislike it, hit the like button. It's counterintuitive. It makes
Oh.
sense.
Today's video sponsor is...
7-Eleven.
Nope, we can't do that. That's illegal. Today's video sponsor is...
Not 7-Eleven.
It's actually Addy, because he's on the podcast for the first
Sponsored
time ever.
by
Nope.
Addy Light.
Oh no, okay. We'll
I'll
make
Photoshop in the Addy part.
we'll make that sell. All right, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. We do have lots of exciting tech news coming to you next week and the following weeks after. We're actually probably going to start bridging out and doing a little more content for you guys. Kind of
Yeah, like how to mod GTA 5.
I guess we can do
Be
that.
ready to reinstall it every 5.5
Every 5.5 minutes. If you play City Skylines and want to mod that too, every time you force quit it, it's going to uninstall itself from your computer.
I know how to mod games.
Make sure you hit the notification bell so that when we post a video, you find out about it first. I believe that's everything. That's
Finger
it.
Guns and snaps.
Finger guns and snaps, because Joey and Trevor aren't here, so we're not doing their outro.
What do
So
they
that's
do?
it.
What do they do?
They do the Stay Classy Spokane.
Stay trashy, Spokane.
Stay Trashy Spokane. This is the weakest dab of all time.